Assalamualaikum. Hi everyone, my name is Mitto Natto. I'm from AS143C2.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Najia binti Madin.
Hi, my name is Nurul Ashiki binti Mayusri.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Nur Azlinda binti Aslam Zubaida. I am from AS143C2.
And my name is Nadersha bin Muzaffar Shah and I'm from AS143C2.
I will start our study case presentation and I will going to talk about the background of Mitto Natto Seizo Company. Mitto Company founded in 1929, which that continues to make old-fashioned natto that wrapped in a straw. 80% of manufacturer product are using domestic beans. Mitto Natto Seizo Company sell their natto in a plastic container. And traditional rice straw wrapping. Natto from Mitto is said to have been a popular souvenir in the Meiji era during 1868 until 1912 because its smaller beans were thought to be especially delicious. First of all, do you guys know what is natto? That was natto. Natto is a Japanese traditional food made from a soybean that have been fermented with Bacillus subtilis. It is often served as a breakfast food. It's served with karashi mustard, soy or tar sauce, and sometimes Japanese bunching onions.
Natto classified under two types of natto, which are itohiki natto and ji natto. Itohiki natto has three kinds of natto, which are maridaizu natto, hikiwari natto, and goto natto. They are usually eat maridaizu natto and hikiwari natto.
During 2009, a survey revealed that 70.2% of Japanese people find the taste unpleasant, and others who may not find the food taste unpleasant still eat it for health benefits.
I will present the objective of this case study. So the first one is to introduce the healthy Japanese culture more widely to the public. Natto is especially nutritious because its soybeans undergo a process of fermentation which creates conditions that promote the growth of probiotics. Probiotics are beneficial bacteria that provide a wide range of health benefits. One such benefit includes making food more digestible and makes it easier for your gut to absorb their nutrients. The second objective is to acknowledge how natto is made by going through all the steps. It is important to create delicious and aromatic natto while making sure the cleanliness always kept in check. Next, to identify the problems that may occur in the processing and manufacturing natto. Also to identify the solution that are prepared to solve these problems.
Tell you about one stage of food processing line, which is food manufacturing. Mitto Natto Seizo Company still maintain the tradition of making natto. There are 10 steps of making natto. Soybean the ingredient. Manufacturing natto at the Mitto Natto Seizo Co start from the selecting high quality soybean shipped to the company from all over Japan. The soybean are selected according to size such as large, small, extremely small beans and also their flavor, softness and other factors for optimum natto production. Second, washing. Soybean, the ingredient of natto, go through the sorting machine to eliminate worm-eaten beans, cracked beans and colored beans. They are then washed in the bean washing machine to wash away by soy water and the lye attached to the skin of soybean. Next, soaking in water. Cleanly washed soybean are soaked in water. The process is called shinsike, soaking and immersing. By making soybean absorb enough water, it will make soybean easy to be heated in the next steaming and boiling process, and thus ensuring soybean to be boiled with even flavor and softness. With enough water absorbed, soybean become 2 until 3 times heavier than before. Water absorption. Soaking time differ widely depending on the water temperature. Next, steaming. After absorbing enough water, soybean undergoes steaming in a pressure cooker. Steaming kills various bacteria attached to the surface of soybean. Moreover, soybean becomes soft and full, which is a condition easy for natto yeast to take nutrition and grow. Furthermore, steaming makes soybean easy for various enzymes produced by natto yeast and dissolve the ingredient. As for the time and temperature of steaming, each natto maker use it according to the variety and origin of soybean in order to prepare good boiled beans. Next, natto bacteria. Although natto bacteria is naturally found in rice straw, natto bacteria cultivated by starter culture manufacturer is used for commercialized product these days. Rice straw naturally contain the bacteria Bacillus subtilis. During the process, produce natto by allowing the bacteria to sit and ferment the sugar in the soybeans. There are only 3 companies in the Japan that develop natto bacteria, and Mitto Natto Seizo Company use natto bacteria from one of these companies along with unique natto bacteria developed at the Industrial Technology Innovation Center of Ibaraki for some product. The company said it used a unique natto bacteria resulting from culture gathered from over 100 types of rice straw, the source of natto bacteria from across the country, including Okinawa and Hokkaido. Thorough testing was done on compatibility with soybean, and strain with high natto fermentation power was selected for use. This special natto bacteria is diluted with water and sprayed on boiled soybean. Use a watering can. Next, packing of fermentation container. There are a variety of fermentation container. Mitto Natto Seizo Company continue to make old-fashioned natto wrapped in straw and cups. In either case, as with the process of natto yeast spraying, boiled beans are packed in the container with due attention paid to do so while they are still hot in order to avoid the contamination of bacteria. Natto yeast need oxygen to grow. Therefore, for the good passage of air to facilitate natto yeast to grow, soybeans should not be packed too tightly so that they can have some space among them. The bottom of natto container on the market has rough shape reflecting such consideration. Then, fermentation. Soybean fermentation is induced by increasing the temperature of the fermentation room to activate natto bacteria. However, it is necessary to make sure that over-fermentation does not occur. Fermentation is controlled by lowering the room temperature after ascertaining the optimal fermentation condition while controlling the temperature of the soybean themselves in a separate system. It is said that the height from the ground at the store during fermentation also affect individual fermentation result. For this reason, the chefs are exchanged frequently, meaning that the expert staff must stay by the soybean to the end of the process. After 16 until 24 hours, all products are taken out of the room for cooling to stop the fermentation as well for dehumidification. It also has the effect of removing the metabolic gas after the products are cooling down to the room temperature, they are moved to the refrigerating room. Next, maturation. Following the fermentation, after the temperature of the product is down to about that of the room, natto is refrigerated and natto yeast, then wrapping. Packed in a container and ferment, natto is shipped with a label on it. Wrapped products are packed in cardboard boxes and placed again in the refrigerator to wait for shipment. Lastly, shipment. Fresh and safe natto is delivered to retail store in the refrigerator's car. At factories of natto producer, the temperature is strictly controlled in making natto. Refrigerating product in preparation for shipment is also very carefully handled in order to prevent re-fermentation. Moreover, if the temperature of product rises during transportation, natto yeast will start working again, which lead to deterioration of product with the generation of ammonia smell. Therefore, refrigerator or freezer car are used for transportation so that product quality does not deteriorate. We deliver to you with almost care.
And as for my part, I'm going to elaborate about problems and solutions for our chosen food, which is natto. So without further ado, let's go. Now that you guys know what natto is, the most common problem with natto is actually its odor and texture. While fermented foods and drinks all have an acquired taste, natto may take more time to get used to than cultured vegetables or probiotic liquids. Its taste is definitely worth acquiring. Natto has a very unique smell, taste, and texture. It has a strong pungent smell, somewhat like oat cheese or oat sauce. Along with the smell, it has a sticky, gooey texture which may not be appealing to many visitors from abroad. So trying natto for the first time can be a big task. However, the solution to this problem is, even though the smell and texture may put you off, the taste of natto is actually really good if you taste it with hot rice, a tinge of soy sauce, and chopped green onions. So, as simple as that, you don't have to eat natto rawly if you are new with natto. You have to eat it with something else like rice and soy sauce to cover the strong odor and texture. Do you guys know that in Japan, natto is commonly served as a topping to rice? I recommend, however, to try adding plenty of vegetables, mustard, wet fritamari, scallions, and if you like, a little wasabi. Kimchi and natto is also a good combination. While okra enhances the flavor of natto, for first-timers like you guys, eating natto with rice, karage, and mayonnaise can be a great treat.
And let's say I will make a conclusion about this video. So, natto is a traditional Japanese dish consisting of fermented soybeans and characterized by a slimy, sticky, and stringy texture. Natto is one example of fermented food. This fermented food has a unique consistency and surprising smell. In fact, many say it's an accurate taste. When forming natto, the soybean will be chosen first. Then the soybean will soak and cook, then mix with the Bacillus subtilis to allow fermentation. For your information, natto is incredibly nutritious and linked to various health benefits which range from stronger bones to a healthier heart and immune system. Eating it regularly may strengthen your immune system and bones, protect you from heart disease, and help you digest food more easily. However, it may interfere with the normal functioning of the thyroid gland, especially in individuals with an already poorly functioning thyroid, because natto was made from soybean, which are considered a goitrogen. For that, people with this problem may need to seek an advice from their doctor before adding natto to their food or can limit their intake. This food was easily recognizable by its distinctiveness and by its somewhat by the smell. If you are planning to try natto for the first time, you may try it with a small portion and eat it with rice, and also add some condiments to prevent you from feeling nauseous due to your first attempt to eat natto. Otherwise, you will just waste your money because you will throw up after eating natto if you eat without any condiments. Natto can be found in most Asian supermarkets, and it also can be made at home. Okay, so this is the end of the video. So we want to thank anyone that watched our video, and we hope this video will help you to find out what natto is and how it was made. And that's all. Thank you, and see you later, or maybe not. Bye.